Hello and welcome to another book tag. Now this tag I found on Bookish Chaz's YouTube. He is an awesome booktuber. I highly recommend you go check him out, and his channel will be linked in the description down below. But this is a rapid fire book tag, 24 questions, and I've got to do it quick. I've glanced at the questions because I had to take a snapshot of what they are. Have I thought of any answers? As you will probably tell, no. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, question number 1. Ebook or physical book? Physical book. Physical book all the way. I want to feel it in my hands. I want to see what I'm traumatised by. I do like ebooks. I use ebooks. The only reason I have a Kindle is to read ARC books. That's the only reason I bought one. Question number 2. Paperback or hardback? Hardback. I would rather have hardback above paperback all day long. Question number 3. Online or in-store book shopping? Now I know I should say in-store. I just find online a lot more convenient and I end up buying more books online. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like going into town and going to Waterstones or any of the, like independent ones, because York has a lot of them. But I do end up just ordering it online. Alright, question number 4. Trilogies or series? I'd probably say a trilogy, but I do like series as long as it doesn't drag it out so long. A trilogy, you are just, it's in the name, you get 3 books and, that's your lot. That's how the story has to be in those 3 books. You can't just write 17 and then keep on going. Alright, so question number 5. Heroes or villains? Villains. Villains. They're always so much more compelling, and I usually find them a lot more fun to read. And I'm sure my therapist will come back to this video. Okay, question number 6. A book you want everyone to read. This is the Bone Drenched Woods by L.V. Russell. I've just finished ARC reading it this month, and it got 5 stars, and I think everybody should read this. Question number 7. Recommend an underrated book. An underrated book. An underrated book is The Pirate Queen by James Fuller. This is another ARC read that I had. Don't be put off by how thick this thing is. I ordered it and then realised that it was in large script. So it's not as chunky as what you think, but this is the first in a series, and it combines a little bit of mythology, but it is all pirates, and she is an amazing main character. There's no romance. It is just piracy all the way through, and violence and sword fights and ships and stealing and political manoeuvrings. It's wonderful. Question number 8. The last book you finished. I just finished one today. So I just finished just today another ARC read called The Violin by Odette Howe, and that is an amazing book. So amazing that after I had finished it on my Kindle, I went and bought it. I want it to have as a trophy book on my shelf. That's how good it was. And it is out at the minute, and a review video will be coming, if it isn't out already. Question number 9. The last book you bought was The Violin, as I mentioned earlier. Question number 10. The weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark. I've used a train ticket as a bookmark before, but other than that, I always have a bookmark somewhere. So I don't really use any weird things for bookmarks. Question 11. Used books, yes or no? Yes. Some of these I've got secondhand off eBay. A lot of my historical fiction I've got secondhand because I wanted it in hardback. So yeah, all about secondhand books. But make sure there's no damp or mould on them if you're buying secondhand, because they could infect your whole bookcase and nobody wants that. Question 12. Top 3 favourite genres. Horror, fantasy, mythology. That was easy enough. Question 13. Borrow or buy? Buy. I haven't borrowed a book in years. Question 14. Character or plot? That is hard. I'm swinging more towards plot, because you could have the greatest character. If they're not doing sod all, then there's really nothing to compel you to finish the book that they're in. But then again, if you've got an awesome character and a crap plot, I mean, yeah, the character could... Yeah, I'd go with plot is the most important. Question 15. Long or short books? Long books. Question 16. Long or short chapters? It really doesn't bother me. I really don't care. Probably longer chapters than short ones, unless you're having different POVs. But the length of chapters, it really doesn't bother me. I barely notice. Question 17. Name the first 3 books you think of. Think of when? First 3 books I think of. The Dark Tower, because I've just been looking that way. Salt in the Wound, because I was just looking over there, by Benjamin Averin. And The Wild Hunt by Elizabeth Chadwick, because I mentioned historical fiction. Question 18. Books that make you laugh or cry? Not many have made me cry. One that I do remember that made me cry was To Defy a King by Elizabeth Chadwick. It's not sad, it is historical fiction, but because of the series it's the William Marshall series, so you get a book with his father, and then 2 or 3 with him, and then Mahelt is his daughter, and so you're with her growing up, and she's ends up in this impossible situation, and she gets betrayed, and her children are ripped from her arms, and it's all because she was betrayed by someone close to her. And the way that particular section is written, tears. There were tears. And a few books have made me sort of go, but they haven't made me laugh out loud. Question 19. Our world or fictional world? Fictional. Because, I mean, if you had the choice. Question 20. Audiobooks, yes or no? No. Question 21. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Every single one. Every single one. If people didn't judge a book by its cover, then what would be the point in all the wonderful cover art? If a book has wonderful cover art, I'm going to pick it up. It's what first gets people interested in your book. I don't care what it is, it's the cover art that gets people interested first. Question 22. Book to movie or book to TV adaptation? It depends on the book. I would say book to TV adaptation because you can get more in a full series, especially if they commit to it, than you can get in, say, a 90-minute movie. The one that booked that trend was The Lord of the Rings, and that's because they just went on for hours. The one that mainly comes to mind is Pride and Prejudice. The 1995 series is 6 hours long. Perfect adaptation of that book. The film's 90 minutes, it doesn't really do it justice. It really doesn't. And yes, I am thinking of the Keira Knightley one because it just didn't do it for me. The yearning wasn't enough. It wasn't long enough. Alright, question 23. A movie or TV adaptation you preferred more than the book? Lord of the Rings. And I haven't read the book. I started to read the book, but ended up putting it down. Question 24. Series or standalones? At the minute, I'm preferring standalones. Because there are so many series out at the minute that I think there's too many. And that authors don't tend to write a standalone book anymore. They write a book with a cliffhanger at the end. Kind of like TV shows do. Like, I dare you not to give me a sequel. And that includes books that are written as standalones and then they blow up so much that the author's practically forced to write a sequel for it, and it doesn't really work. And there's so many series of books that just should have been a standalone story, and that's it. I think people are forgetting how to read standalone books with just nothing after. And that is the rapid fire 24 questions. Not that it was that rapid, but some of them were, in my defence. But I will list all the questions down below. If you are watching this video, consider yourself tagged. And I look forward to seeing all your answers. And until next time, keep reading.
Still remain.